the shape of the earth!
Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 most censored 4Kids anime moments.
It's a dark energy disc, Yugi, and I wouldn't get too close. One touch and your mind's banished to the Shadow Realm!
For this list, we'll be looking at all the scenes 4Kids either cut or watered down in the anime they licensed. Which censored moment upset you the most? Let us know in those comments below.
Shadow, please. Maria would want you to be friends with people.
Number 10, Shadow Realm, YuGiOh franchise.
Now then, Father, time to send you to the Shadow Realm.
YuGiOh is certainly one of the more darker franchises that 4Kids Entertainment licensed, so it comes to no surprise that it was filled with a lot of violent deaths. To combat this, 4Kids made up the Shadow Realm, a terrible place where a character would be sent to rather than dying.
Now if that kid duels and loses, he'll get sent to the stars like that last guy. And that can't happen. Whoa!
For the sequel series, they would use the term "sent to the stars" for whenever a duelist would lose a death game, which makes even less sense. Whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, they would just remove the death entirely. A good example of this would be when they removed Seiya being eaten alive. Number 9, Brock's Jelly Donuts, Pokemon.
You look kind of down, Ash. Huh? Have a donut. That always cheers me up. Pika pika!
As a show that originates from Japan, it's no surprise that it would feature food that originates from the country. One of the most frequently featured dishes was onigiri, Japanese rice balls with a delicious filling. The perfect meal for our adventurers to eat on the go. For some odd reason, 4Kids was absolutely not having this, and instead had Brock call them jelly-filled donuts, despite looking nothing like them.
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite! Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Even if some of us at the time as kids had no idea what onigiri was, we definitely knew that this was not a donut. Later down the line, 4Kids would edit out the onigiri entirely, replacing it with a large sandwich that Ash would awkwardly hold.
But I want my sandwich back! Nah.
Number 8, Renee's Whip, Mew Mew Power. 4Kids was no stranger to removing religious imagery from their shows. A good example of this was the crosses next to the tombstones in Shaman King. They, however, probably went a bit too far when they decided to modify Renee's whip. In the original, the weapon has a golden crossguard on it. 4Kids decided that this looked way too much like a cross, so they would remove it alongside editing the overall attack sequence. The weapon would be renamed the Purple Dagger, which sounds a lot more violent than a whip. Number 7, Lenny the Limey, Shaman King.
It's that guy Len, right over there!
That's him?
Huh. He doesn't look so tough.
4Kids did a lot of westernizing to their characters, but this one takes the cake. One of the most popular characters in the series, Tao Ren, is a powerful shaman hailing from Guizhou, China. For the English dub, for some reason or another, Ren was renamed to Len and had a British accent.
Your friend thinks that he can win the prize crown, but he has no hope whatsoever. He is a mere shadow of a true shaman, and he will be the first of a long line to perish at my hand.
This also applied to his sister as well, and made absolutely no sense whatsoever, considering the traditional Chinese attire they were both wearing. 4Kids would also do the same sort of thing to Ryu, changing the Japanese delinquent's name to Ryo, complete with a Hispanic accent.
And if I see that little punk in our sacred hang again, I'll do this to him!
Number 6, Forehead Markings, Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman Legacy.
It
It just can't be! It can't be!
Hey, pull yourself together.
Throughout their licensed series, 4Kids were big fans of digitally removing any signs or symbols, and one of their biggest removals were the forehead markings in Ultimate Muscle. 4Kids were absolutely scared to death of parents complaining that their kids were drawing on their foreheads, so they removed the marks from characters such as Meat.
How you doing, pal? The name's Meat. It's a long story.
When 4Kids commissioned a new series from Toei Animation, they requested that these markings not be present to save them time. So when these episodes later aired in Japan, it caused much confusion amongst the fanbase, with even the Kinnikuman creators Yude Tamago poking fun at it.
The Muscle League's never been so humiliated. And the worst part of all, it happened on live TV. Our pay-per-view sales are shot.
Number 5. Shadow's Beatdown, Sonic X.
You know you were made to help others, and that's the reason you finally rescued me.
Hands off.
No, Chris!
Our beloved anti-hero Shadow is obviously going to do some questionable things every now and then, but 4Kids wasn't having any of it when it came to this dramatic scene. Here, human protagonist Chris Thorndike begs Shadow to help Sonic protect the world, which Shadow declines due to his sad past involving Maria. However, when Chris doesn't back down, Shadow decides to get physical and proceeds to beat him up. 4Kids would heavily modify this scene, cutting away whenever Chris would get striked. This ruins the whole scene entirely and makes us wonder what on earth is happening to Chris.
Can't you see it's not fair?
Don't talk to me about fair!
Number 4. Yubel, YuGiOh GX.
だが分かっているよ。統治ゴーレムならまだ可能性が残っていると思っているんだろう。
As the main antagonist of the Dimension World arc, Yubel is an incredibly important character in YuGiOh GX, who has a deep connection with the main hero Jaden Yuki, and eventually turns over a new leaf. Yubel's appearance takes on both masculine and feminine traits, something you wouldn't see as much if you watch the English dub, as 4Kids covered them up to make it less obvious.
What was that? Are you mocking me?
When Yubel first appears in GX, they would occasionally use a masculine voice from time to time. 4Kids omitted this entirely, however, with Yubel solely using a feminine voice throughout the series.
And with its power, I will break the boundaries of time and space and unite the 12 dimensions!
Number 3. Sanji's Lollipop, One Piece.
バカ。炎が怖くてコックが務まるかよ。
Due to how notorious they were at the time, when news broke out that 4Kids had licensed One Piece, the first thing on everyone's minds was how they were going to handle the Straw Hat Pirate chef. In the original, you'd be hard-pressed to find a scene of Sanji without his signature cigarettes. Obviously, 4Kids was never going to keep this in, so they decided to edit every frame of him smoking and replace it with a good old-fashioned lollipop.
Please, you think that a chef is afraid of a couple of flames?
One Piece was perhaps the most censored series 4Kids had control of, but this edit is the most notorious of them all.
Sanji's lollipop. I want to find out what he's always slurping on.
Sanji's not gonna like that!
Number 2. James's Bikini, Pokemon.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
James.
Fans of the series will know that Team Rocket has a large wardrobe of disguises to use against those pesky twerps. But according to 4Kids, James's outfit in this episode was far too much for them to handle. In this episode, James wears a bikini along with inflatable breasts for a swimsuit contest. He even then goes on to tease Misty about it. Instead of trying to work around this, 4Kids opted to skip the episode entirely. Strangely enough, the episode did air once a few years later during a rerun, with all of this contest removed. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Finger Guns, YuGiOh Duel Monsters.
But it'll take more than you two goons to grab me. This can go easy, or we can snap you in two, wise guy.
This one is quite possibly the most infamous censor in all of anime. The original YuGiOh series was not afraid to show firearms, because as we all know, children's card games are serious business. 4Kids would remove any instances of this, but for this one scene involving Kaiba, things just looked absolutely ridiculous.
Let's go, Kaiba. On your feet. Mr. Pegasus would like to have a few words with you.
They would digitally remove the guns from the two henchmen after Kaiba, resulting in them threatening him with just their pointing fingers. Another big scene ruined by this censor would be when Bandit Keith threatened Pegasus after his loss, once again utilizing the dreaded finger gun.
Whoa!
You truly are a stubborn one, aren't you?
Can it? You ain't talking your way out of this one. Now hand over that prize money or else.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.